XP drops are a function in InfiniTea to help drive user engagement in competitive nature or sportsmanlike conduct within your community. It's a really fun feature that some users love, but I want to be honest with you. There are some users that do not like XP drops. So I've given you plenty of controls to allow you to facilitate those users that maybe don't like them, but still engage the community in a sensible way. Just like with the XP rates function, the XP drops does allow you to either configure everything together or allow you to configure each individual activity type separate from one another. I do want to point out that you require an active subscription with InfiniTea for some of the activity types, notably engagement activity, community reputation, and staff reputation. However, staff reputation does not have an XP drop associated with it. Diving into this, you'll see that there's a notification channel where you can notify when XP notifications or the drop notifications go. In addition, you can configure the drops down here. I want to explain some of these functions in a little bit more detail. Drop interval is how often a drop is selected to occur for this message activity. The drops per interval are how many drops will occur every 240 minutes. And then you can specify the drop amount, the amount of XP for this drop, minimum, and the drop amount maximum. And you'll see down here a little helper that will help you help understand some of the drop details. In addition to this, there's also a lottery system where you can choose a lottery percent and a lottery multiplier. The lottery multiplier directly affects the drop amount that is randomly selected and multiplies it by that multiplier amount. Finally, there is a channels section. The channels section allows you to specify which channels they are either allowed to be in or disable. So you can set up an exclusionary list or an inclusionary list. I recommend that you use the allowed drop channels and specifically target the channels that you want it to exist with. Otherwise, you might end up with situations where drops are sent into support tickets or into announcement channels or places where you don't want them to go. So allowing them to only drop in these target channels makes a lot more sense than disabling them from specific channels. However, this allowed function does take priority over the disabled channels. You can configure drops independently for each activity type. As you can see here, I have them unique for each one. Voice activity is slightly different in that there is nothing that a user needs to do to interact to get these drops. The only thing they have to do is be available in any voice channel. And obviously there's no associated channels to filter out from for this function. Hopping into Discord here, I want to show you a command that is important to know about if you want to run drops, but you don't want to enable automation. You can type /drop, the activity type that you want to drop, and then the amount. For example, I will do a drop in this channel for 15 XP. And you'll see that it is now posted a drop in here, and users must react with these reactions to claim this XP drop. So there's fun little mini games associated with these XP drops. And personally, I find a lot of users to really enjoy them, and it does help drive some engagement. Strongly though, I advise that you don't overuse this, because if you overuse this functionality, you're going to end up with a lot of spam in your channels. Another thing to note is that these channels from these channel lists are randomly selected. So they're randomly selected, and despite them being randomly selected, it also checks for activity in that channel. So if a channel is already dead, even if you have it allowed, InfiniTea is not going to drop an XP channel or an XP drop into that channel because it becomes spammy. And that's it for XP drops.